10, 15 years ago won't buy much of anything here today.
And why the millennial generation is starting to give up because they can't afford to get a good job or own a house.
8 million Venezuelans voting for this assembly, saying it's actually less than 3.
It is. And people are going to start rioting in the streets.
Was reported to have asked Putin for military support that would help him stay in power.
We will make America safe again. And yes, together, we will make America great again.
And they ignore him. And 8 more years goes by till Bernie himself finally admits to his sons, hey, I've been running a Ponzi scheme.
Does its dominance mean it can use the alliance for its own ends?
Since 1981, bond yields, also known as coupon rates, have just gone down and down and down.
Federal Reserve note will be your biggest financial liability.
RTD Live Talk. It is Thursday night. We're live, and so sorry for running late, rather. But I was expecting to have a guest on joining us tonight, but yet for whatever reason, I had some technical difficulties. So I'm riding by myself tonight, apart from you, the viewers that are joining us. And so other than that, wanted to get your thoughts as tonight's title is "What's on Your Mind." So let's talk about it. Give me a call and let's find out what's going on. Want to get your thoughts on a variety of subject matter, and so I had a great interview earlier for those that had a chance to see it, and the idea of kicking off this Get Your Weight Up campaign. So as you can see right above my head here, it's official. The hashtag is up and popping. Even if you look below this picture here, I got the Get Your Weight Up t-shirts of whatnot available for those that want to participate. So I'll be wearing mine starting next week when they come in the mail. And other than that, definitely, man, it's a lot of opportunities out here to actually acquire some physical metals. So it's a blessing to be able to work with a precious metals company to help put metals out into people's hands. So as always, any new viewers, the show is designed for you to share what's on your mind. And so there's a number above my head, 1-833-LIVE-RTD. It's for you to give me a call and let's talk about some stuff. And then also over here, there's a chat where you feel free to just let me know what's going on. And so as always, I gotta cut the phone on so people can call in. So give me 1 second here. Today has been extremely hectic, to say the least, but we're gonna make it work. We are going to make it work. So I am connected. So let's talk. So what's going on here? Let me get back to the chat, see who I'm missing, who's joining us, what the word is. So Philman, what's up, my friend? Philman's always first. We got ZV, you got a couple there, we got a couple, yeah. Mike Valdez, my first time. Mike, welcome to RTD Live Talk, my friend. The goal is to basically provide the audience a voice to share whatever's on their mind. So if there's something going on in reference to political matters, the economy, we even dive deep into spiritual matters around here because that's a part of our lives. And so feel free to just, let us know in the chat or give me a call and let's talk about it. Student of life, it's that time. Yes, it is. And so I got a question. It looks like it said, is there any real money in circulation? If not, why are we paying off the mortgages? Man, that's a good point there. So I assume that, you're aware of the fact that, fiat currencies are just debt-based instruments that really have no intrinsic value other than confidence and the backing of the government. So with that being the case, why are we paying off mortgages? It has to do with the fractional reserve lending aspect of commercial banks basically debiting and crediting ledgers in their own bank balance sheet and giving us the illusion of owning something. But yet, as we've talked before, you can actually have a deed clear and free in your hand, but yet you don't pay your property taxes. You're going to lose something. So paying off mortgages is just a typical way that we do things here in the developed world. We take care of our business, pay for our living expenses and do what we do and try to enjoy this life. So I don't think there's a real solution to that, but other than that, that's just how things are. Patrick, what's up, my friend? We got Scott says, hi, Mike, ready to place my order. There you go, my man. I appreciate that. Patrick James, I'm a new viewer. Patrick James, new viewer. You sure about that? I think I've heard that name before. Pat says, Phil, a question. Once you pay off your house, do you actually own your own house? Once you pay it off, you no longer own, you no longer owe a creditor directly, but your city, taxes, is still due. So property taxes is something that it's a yearly thing. So you still owe somebody something. So with that being the case, I don't think you can clearly own your house outright, because if you miss too many property taxes, there's going to be some issues that you're going to face in probably losing your property. So that's the idea that we really don't own much at the end of the day, because we have to pay a tax on everything. Even like the whole idea of driving our vehicle. You can drive, I forgot which portion of I think it's a constitution or where it said we have the right to free travel or whatever. But yet now we get taxed to travel. If you don't got your driver's license, they pull you over, it's a wrap. You ain't got insurance, you getting ticketed. If you ain't got this, get that, you get. So it's no longer free travel. So nothing comes in this world for free anymore. It says the United States is 21.6 trillion in debt. And John, that's just 21.6 trillion that's on the balance sheets that we're aware of. And what's funny, well, not what's funny, but what's interesting about that is that a lot of politicians and whatnot to say that we owe that to ourselves. And so it's our government issuing bonds and then using those same bonds to fund all types of Social Security and, all that types of stuff. So we owe it to ourselves, supposedly, as if we can actually pay it back ourselves if we do owe it to ourselves. So, yeah. It says it's conditional. It says just like the Simpson cartoon, Donald Trump was put in office like Herbert Hoover to wreck the U.S. economy. William Smith, I don't doubt it. And so, knowing that and believing that, what are your action steps that you're going to take to preserve some of your economic energy in the days forth? That's what we're going to boil down to. If we know a train wreck is coming, prepare as best you can according to the information that you have. We got Sonny Ray Austin. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. So I want to get your thoughts on a couple issues here. Tony, what's up, my friend? Thanks for tuning in earlier for those that had a chance to watch the earlier live stream. I was supposed to have Mr. Bill Powers on tonight. And so reason I'm late is because I was trying to settle some things with Skype to get in connect with him. But, I couldn't get the video going. And so we're going to reschedule that for another day. And so, but yeah, definitely, Bill Powers is a gentleman in the mining industry. So he's very knowledgeable on, precious metals from the mining standpoint. So definitely we're going to learn something from him when he joins us. What else you guys said? It was wrecked long before Trump got there. I agree. Yeah, that's the thing. The train wreck of an economy or monetary system it's been that way for over 100 years, guaranteed for sure. And you factor in the idea that the banking sector, the banks, which have become too big to fail, recession after recession, after every little market correction, the banks somehow get bigger and stronger and more systemically dangerous, to where now all banks are interconnected, hence the whole derivative aspect and the non-performing loans that everybody borrow. And, we got the LIBOR situation where banks lend to each other overnight and they're not really lending anymore because they can't really discover a true rate of interest for loans, given the fact that we're in zero environment. So they're not really trusting each other these days. So I'm hearing that they're not loaning to each other. So you factor all that in there. This world is ran by bankers. So that plays into an idea that, the eBook. If you guys scroll down below, there's an eBook called Golden Economic Freedom, which is just basically a article written by Alan Greenspan 51 years ago. So I extracted that article, put a couple highlights in there of things that people really should pay attention to, because in my opinion, Alan Greenspan is the banker of all bankers, given the fact that he spent, well over all his life, or his younger years, opposed to the idea of a central bank because he was a gold bug. When he became the central banker chairman, he don't mention gold whatsoever, but now he's more open to, admitting to the public how important it is. So that ebook there, definitely for those that are new, especially to the whole monetary awareness aspect, I encourage you to just get that, just click it, you download it and read it. It's about 7 pages. I've read it several times just because I enjoy, learning and just, rehearsing the idea of what he thought and what he knows gold is. So that's what my thoughts are on that is. Patrick James said, Tony, my RTD brother. He said it was wrecked long before. What else we got? He said, yes, sir. How about you? Said as if government, retirement, and Medicare and Medicaid. Yeah, those are all subject to change. Everything's going to change real soon once the truth is revealed that this economy built upon debt and credit is no longer sustainable. So it's going to have a day of reckoning. That's why the idea of get your weight up. So I'm really going to be harping get your weight up. And so just because, everyone considers themselves a stacker. We talk about silver. But I'm a firm believer that it doesn't take much gold to make a difference in your overall well-being, because, I'm going to do some videos on just the historical aspect of how small how small of an amount of gold can have such a major impact on your financial holdings, especially down the line. And to be able to acquire 1 gram basically at or below $50, that's the equivalent of 2 silver egos, to where, I personally believe in having a little bit of both mixed together. It says, question, before 1930, people didn't have Social Security, driver's license, etc. Why do you think these things were put into place? Philman, great question. And it has to do with being able to register people, being able to put people under surveillance, to be able to monitor and track, and to basically find a way to tax people inadvertently. And so all those things there, Social Security was offered after the Great Depression as insurance, as income insurance. Patrick James, thank you, my friend. I appreciate that. Social Security was offered as basically a retirement plan after the Great Depression to help get people back on their feet, because people had lost everything during the market crash there. And so the whole idea of insurance was to basically, the government says, if you work, you contribute a little bit of this to the government, we'll take care of you. And so basically it was a tax. They took money out of people's checks, and the whole Ponzi scheme behind it is the fact that they took, people who actually were able to withdraw full benefits of the Social Security didn't even put in anything when it was first rolled out. So now here we are, 80 something years later, give or take, and it's going to be problematic, because people know at the end of the day they won't be receiving anything. And so everything's been designed to be a tax. Driver's license, you got to pay whatever for your car, register a car. You got to pay every year to get your license renewed. You got to take driver's test. You got to take driver's training. You got to take driver. That adds up to be a major tax. So we are learning that anything proposed and that comes from a higher authority in the form of our current government structure usually comes back to be a burden on the people in the form of a tax. So I believe that's how all that stuff came about. It says Alan Greenspan wrote the code the financial system is run on according to Big Swear. Yeah, Mike, that's a very good point there. And so Big Swear is a big proponent of the idea that Alan Greenspan is the guy behind the current model of the digital ledger that the banking system, was founded upon in the 1960s and 70s. So he wrote the code and stuff like that. So I don't doubt it. I don't doubt it at all. So he has his hands in on a lot of things, whether or not he was actual decoder that did that and related to, or, also he could be Satoshi Nakamoto. That's what, Bix will say. Time will tell, but at the end of the day, it still doesn't, disregard the fact that the current model and the current system is having problems. So alternatives is needed. It says every part of the automobile is tax based. So typo says, please post PayPal. Oh, PayPal. Oh, that's what you meant. I can make it easier for you. And so we haven't got any calls yet. So I take it you guys either don't want to talk or nothing's on your mind tonight. But but just because of the interview earlier, and let me do this real quick. I didn't have a chance to really keep an eye on anything in the news, and so I don't know what I missed. So if anybody want to fill me in, that's what we're here for. Let's talk about it. So let me pull this up here. Just to so for a typo, the PayPal, if you're interested in contributing or donating to the cause, that link there will take you to where you can find the PayPal information there if you are interested. It says Q posted. Site went down. The site is working fine on my end. So typo, if interested, just go to rethinkingthedollar.com/donate. And then if you go there, you'll be able to see the options of being able to donate to the platform. So I appreciate that. And what else here? It says Q post. So what did Q talk about? And that's another thing, that was, more and more people are starting to rely upon Q as like an accredited source of information. Granted, some of the things that comes from that source there tends to play out. So will we say it's the real deal or what? I'm not sure. But what's the latest Q? What are you predicting or telling us to watch out for? And another thing, midterms is right now, so I'm sure as you riding in your car or whatever, you listen to the radio, listen to, everybody know what radio stations in their city is, for and against, a variety of parties. And so I'm just listening to a lot of the, Detroit stations, and they have so many politicians coming out making all these promises. And so we all know about Flint. And so in Detroit, they're having problems with some schools that have piping that's corroded and whatnot, so kids can't drink water. So it looks like all politicians look to find a major problem that it affects the people right away, and then they'll tie it to their campaign thesis of the things that they're going to do if you put them in office. And so the question would be, for those that's been around for a while, I'm not sure the age group or whoever's in here, but for those that's been around and witnessed some things, how many politicians who actually found a problem to run on, told you what they'll do, actually lived up to their promise wholeheartedly without imposing some other additional tax to fund for that? Anybody can name any politicians that were able to live up to their word without causing extra burden on the people? What else you got here? It says Zimbabwe found oil today. It confirms part of the 2010 prophecy. Zimbabwe found oil. Interesting. I didn't know oil was. I thought, of course, they got so much in the ground there. I would have thought oil was already a part of the economy there. But of course, mining I know is big, and farming, agriculture. So that's something. So the question is, who's going to control that oil? Because it's good to say that they're going to end up leasing that land out to China. And so China's going to be the one extracting it from the ground, processing it or refining it, and they're going to be the one utilizing that oil because China consumes so much oil. It says, Mike, if crypto isn't regulated in the U.S., could you personally run a crypto bank, for example? What about a hedge fund? That's a toughie there because I would imagine once you're dealing with other people's funds, you're going to be held liable if anything happens. And so even if it's not regulated, if there's some type of fraudulent activity, dip in the market, or just you happen to lose the key, the password or something like that to passphrase to people's funds and they lose it, you're going to get sued up the wazoo and probably in prison for embezzlement. And so even though if it's not officially regulated, I don't think you'll be able to really promote and to advertise yourself as a hedge fund, as an accredited crypto bank, because you're not certified. So I don't think it'll work. It'll probably be considered money laundering at the end of the day. So the world's total debt is 247. I think that's old, John. I think I saw something about 250 something. So we couple trillion short there probably. It says Q equals CoinTelPro. Not familiar with that. Give or take $1 billion. That, yeah. It says a typo. It says PayPal sent Express online learning. Thank you. Appreciate that. If you sent it something, I appreciate that. It says Tony B. Flint, Michigan water problem was caused by a Republican governor trying to save a buck. Tony B. I don't know. I know that the government or the mayor and some of the local people in Flint, I'm not sure if they were told or influenced to, but they're the ones that chose to opt out of receiving water from Detroit to save some money, and they decided to cut back on their water supply source from some river somewhere, and it was that river that they went to that came through the Flint pipes that was not watered. It was drinkable, and whatever was in that water, along with that lead pipes, mixed, and it completely eroded the rest of the pipes throughout the city. So I believe that a while back I heard about the mayor of the town or the city people were being cheap because Flint is a very poor town. A lot of people moved out, so they ain't got much revenue coming in, I'm sure. So they're trying to save a couple dollars. They're like, well, I'm sure it won't hurt. We can just, save a couple $1 million by switching to our own water supply, and here we go. But of course, who gets to blame? The governor. So whether he told them to do it or not, I don't know. But obviously, no one did their homework. And here's the truth of the matter: the same piping that's in the ground in Flint been there since 1930, 20, 40, however long ago, close to almost 100 years. It's the same piping that's in Detroit. It's the same piping that's in Chicago. It's the same piping that's in Gary, Indiana. It's the same piping that's in all older metropolitan cities that were heavy manufacturing based back in the day. So everybody's water got something in it. So, everyone, you need a filter for your water at a minimum. Flint has no tax base to fit the water problems. Right. And so here, Flint has no tax base, and no city really has a tax base for their own problems. So what do? If something goes wrong, they go to the federal government and demand money, demand funds. And so apparently, the situation happened while Obama was in office. And so if I'm not mistaken, I don't think he really kicked back no money to help Flint. And so Trump is in office the last 2 years now. So they went back again. And if he don't come through, it's going to be on CNN. He's this, he's that. I'm thinking like, hold on. I mean, it costs too much to fix your problem, because if you send 200 billion, 200 whatever it takes just to redo the entire city's water supply structure, then you're gonna have to do Detroit's. And Detroit's a lot bigger, so there's no funding for that, along with the roads and everything else. But since they're gonna destroy the dollar, they might as well just go ahead and sell some bonds and borrow 200 billion and ship it to all the cities while people still be willing to take the paper. In my opinion, it says Bankari Bank is a crypto bank. I own some of the coins. Never heard of that bank before. The downfall of crypto going to be too many. Different ones. So Q post was only to stay together and vote together. Yeah, so let's talk political stuff real quick. So as I started off earlier, I mentioned about how if you turn on your radio, you can start hearing the promises and whatnot. And so, next week we're going to have, the final day of this whole midterm situation where everybody's, we have everybody in the Democratic Party walking away. Not everybody, but a good portion of people are quote unquote walking away because of whatever reason. I'm assuming that they're going to go to the other party or one of the other parties. And so how do you think that whole walk away movement will impact come vote day? Because a lot of people, like in 2016 when it came to vote for the presidential side of things, a lot of people said they went in. A lot of people told their family and friends they went in to vote one way, but when the numbers tallied up at the end, somebody was lying. So there's a lot of closet supporters of President Donald Trump. And so will it be the same way again? Will red sweep the country, or will it be a little competition? So I'm curious to find out what you guys think about that. It says today Facebook Messenger announced accepting Litecoin. Mike Valdez, stop lying. Stop lying. You trying to get the Litecoin people in this chat all excited. Where's the proof? Send me a quote. Send me a page link. Then I'll believe you. But no, let me because watch this. If that was true, it'll be everybody in every crypto YouTuber will be out here right now ecstatic. They will be going bananas because a lot of people are waiting on one or all of the top fintech companies, the FANGs, Netflix, Amazon, Facebook, who else out there? Whatever the other ones out there. The moment Amazon accepts some form of crypto outside of their own, they got an Amazon coin coming. I saw they got a patent for a coin. Then once Amazon go crypto, it's a wrap, because Amazon got stuff on lock right now, and then Walmart has to follow suit, and then every online retailer would have to do it because they got to keep pace. So I would say keep your eyes out for Amazon sometime in 2019. Do I got any takers out there? Anybody kind of feel me on that one, or am I still too far ahead of myself? Tony says, I got one for you, Mike. Look up 1968 Wall Street Journal as to who won the presidency. Okay. Wall Street Journal. So, and just typing that in, here's what came up on my end. So I just took what you mentioned and I just copied and pasted, and this is what popped up. So let me read some of this and see what's going on here. Minimize that. So we got Wall Street Journal. Oops. I knew it was a catch. They always want somebody to subscribe to something. It says, with Nixon in 1968, the year America came apart. It says, war, protest, assassination, and riot upended American politics and created cultural divides that are still with us today. So, yeah, so this is as a result of President Kennedy being killed. That's funny. This is way before my time. And this is a whole nother... Says President Lyndon B. Johnson announced on March 31st, 1968 that he would not seek re-election above he works on the speech. So the question is, why did Lyndon B. Johnson decide not to run again? Therefore, Nixon got into power, and we all know what that happened. So, Tony, what were you trying to point out with this? This mouse is going so slow. Let me switch mouse. There we go. So, Tom, what were you trying to point out with that? Mike Vidal, here's the link. Pull up the link. Litecoin now accepted for 2 billion plus via Lite.im Facebook. So it's an extension inside of Facebook Messenger. Okay. So an extension or some type of app, something or another, probably makes a little bit more sense. So with that being the case, a lot of people don't know about it, I'd imagine, because it says over 2 billion people. Yeah, if that was like on some top of the shelf news, people would be all on top of that. People would be all on that. So, people, tell me your thoughts. For those that had a chance to watch the video earlier, what are your thoughts on my interview / announcement for this Get Your Weight Up campaign is underway right now? And so, as you guys know, this month is Get Your Weight Up month, so I'm going to be doing a lot of things geared towards gold and silver, so expect to see more videos, interviews in reference to precious metal, just because as we were talking earlier, this right now is probably... It's probably good to say that right now is going to be the cheapest time of which we can actually acquire a gram or just a single round or anything of that nature of silver at the prices we are now, because the chance of them going lower is possible, but all you're going to do is they're going to just tack on the premium, because bullion dealers can't afford to give away metal. So right now the prices are probably as low as they're going to go, and we got about 60 days, give or take 59 days left in this year before we enter into 2019. And so I personally myself, I'm going to take advantage of all this stuff. And so I was like, let me go ahead and put it out there for you guys to take advantage of, just because, this is one of the times where it won't hurt much to get your weight up. And so here's a little offer I was talking about, where if you go to SD Bullion, the link's down below, type in RTD, you get to save, I think, like $6. And so after shipping and handling, everything like that, it's still the lowest. It's the cheapest that I've searched. I've looked around. It's the cheapest I searched for. So everyone can get up to just one gram. So I got mine already. So definitely make sure you go get yours. Whether you're a current shopper at SD Bullion or not, the code applies to you. So you definitely want to take advantage of that, just because you get to save a couple dollars. And then the ebook there, as I mentioned, definitely download the link. Just read it. And more importantly, that book, just share it with a family. Send it in a text message or something to some family friends. Tell them to read it. and just, you know, find out about precious metals, because these next 60 days, I believe, will be the last time we can expect these type of prices, because if there is a correction or some type of hiccup in the market, you know, we already know where the smart money's going. They're going into gold and silver as well as crypto. So your average citizen don't know nothing about either for the most part. So they're going to be needing some people to help them out. So that book can do some good, I believe. What else we got going on here? It says, Mike, are you in tell us how much weight you got? Are you going to tell us how much weight? Oh, no, I can't do that. I can't talk the specifics of weight. The most important thing is if you got some weight, you're better off than not having none. And so I usually keep a round on the table, but I don't know where it's at. But yeah, and here's my approach when it comes to weight. So people always say how much. I'm like, for what I believe is coming, you don't need much weight to preserve your economic output and energy for the future, just because the amount of Federal Reserve notes they about to put in circulation, boy. You know, the anything that's tangibly and intrinsically valuable with all of the properties of money, you know those, anything that fits that description will automatically absorb like a sponge all that liquidity. A good example, look at Venezuela. A single gram of gold, a single gram of gold in Venezuela at this time frame now and throughout the last year or two has gone up in paper price because the money supply has gone up. And so you can basically take that single little bit of piece of a yellow metal, just this small. So today it costs you $50 to get one of them things. And just sit around, you can just buy it. You can spend 50 pieces of dollars. I do got some paper here though. You can spend 50 of these things roughly and get a little bitty piece of that yellow stuff and just take that yellow thing, just put it right there and don't even think about it. And just let things unfold the way they're going to unfold. And that little bitty piece of thing right there, if you look at history, I'm going to do a video about this, but that one little bitty piece of thing right there, fractional of a piece of a gold, or one 1/31st of a gold ounce of gram of an ounce of gold. So it's 1/31st, whatever. So it's 31 grams. It's 31 grams in an ounce. So it's one of them. So you think about the fact that boy is worth 50 pieces of paper today. 20, 30, 40 years ago, that same one little piece was worth maybe $10 if that, give or take. Not even that. It's like $5 for like that little small thing. What do you think it's going to be in 10 years? What do you think it's going to be in 20 years? What do you think it's going to be in 30 years? That small little gram, it's not going to change. It's the chemical composition of that little piece of metal there. It's not going to change, but everything around it is going to change. So I think the investment will well be worth it. So that's just my little 2 cents. What else we got here? We got Tony Blake. What's up? Litecoin and Veritasium are 2 coins you want to own. Yeah, Veritasium. I'm coming around to it. Problem is, it's not heavily exchangeable. I mean, it's not on a lot of exchanges, and so I actually signed up for an exchange the other day, looking at acquiring it, but the exchange looked a little sketchy, so I didn't really move further. And then what else we got here? It says, Tone sending all types of links over here. I'm gonna make your links visible. So we got Namaste. I deleted Facebook. It says Legends Revealed Entertainment. See what these Dick Gregory receive over 9 million votes in 19. Oh, so I didn't see that part. So the question is, Tone, is this true? It says that Dick Gregory actually received over 9 million votes in 1960 president. So that's so like even this website, this is some behind the scenes, some backdoor type stuff. So if he did receive 9 million votes, nobody knew about it. Was reported to have received Pennsylvania Dick Gregory. So what was he? President of the United States, he won remarkable for his votes for a white write-in candidate. So as a write-in candidate, he received 9 million votes. And apart from right now, I never even heard of him. So, interesting. So fast forward, to the 21st century, or we are 21st century, but fast forward to this modern era, we just had an administration that was labeled as being, or who ran upon the idea that he was black or whatever, but more Kenyan / whatever else he's made up of. So that's an interesting story. Interesting story there. What else is going on out here? Lynette Zane says November reset. Yeah, I actually reached out to Lynette to see if she wanted to join me. So hopefully she gets back with me. We'd love to have her back on. 31.1 grams to 1 troy ounce. Adding weight. Get your weight up. Right there. Get your weight up. Says the best way to collect people's info is letting them give it to you on their free will. Okay, Spirit, whoever that's for. Says black people left the Republican Party in the 60s because the Democratic Party was more of a civil rights. So tell Mark Dice black people don't vote for Democrat because of welfare. Because of yeah, I think from a good portion, pretty much a good portion of my family, and even just in my household growing up, it was just like it was a no-brainer that you vote Democrat. It's just, it don't matter what the candidate stood for or anything. They can have a scandal over their head. It don't matter. You just vote just because. You just vote Democratic just because. Of which I'm like, okay. And as I got older, started thinking for myself, started questioning things, started rethinking the dollar. I'm like, well, let me find out about this political stuff here. So yeah, they stopped the voting in Pennsylvania. It says kids are in the room. What kids? The Democratic Party would not vote for Civil Rights Act of 1964, so you are wrong. I don't know. I wasn't around. So the tipping point will be the U.S. 10-year bond yield gets above 3.3. I don't know. I don't doubt it. But yet always, man, until they are officially ready for this thing to crumble, they're going to find a way to patch they're going to patch another hole up in the system, I would be willing to bet. Just because that just seems like what the powers that be always tend to do. The question is, will they one day lose control and be forced to acknowledge the fact that, they can no longer just paper this thing over with debt? That's going to be the question. So a quick question. I used to buy versus anything now I purchase on Mercatox. Okay, so Mercatox, that's what I signed up for. How is that exchange, Mike? Is it legit? Is it easy? Is one of the things you put in a trade, it may go through, may not go through? Let me know, because I'm definitely interested. It says, Mike, today in the news, they said since 1982, the richest families increased their wealth by 6,000%, while normal people only 3%. Spirit, I don't doubt that at all. It's always, and what I've realized just doing my homework, it's always the people who experience the most, the people who get watered or receive the most liquidity in their overall, financial dealings are the people who's closer to the spigot. And what I mean the spigot, whenever there's a hiccup, the monetary spigot always turns on as far as credit expansion, debt expansion. As those as closest or got first dibs are always the ones that get elevated up as far as their net worth and their business, their portfolios and the things they're invested in. And then Main Street, those that are just living paycheck to paycheck day by day, have no real assets. They are the ones that probably have more liabilities than assets. They're the ones, they end up losing even more of the liabilities they have because they take on debt in the form of, financing a phone, financing a vehicle, financing a trip, financing. So, those that are aware utilize the system to their advantage. Those that are not aware get abused by the system. It says the tipping point was 3, then 3.25, now 3.33. Relax, there you got this. Yeah, that's the thing. Like I'm so concerned with just trying to use the information I have, the little bit of knowledge I do have and gain from all the people I've connected with, and just find more people who are still asleep at the wheel. You know what I'm saying? Like there's so many issues. Like there's a subject matter that you can specialize in. You can be a bond expert. You can be a stock equities expert. You can be a real estate expert. You can be a financial, you can pick any type of field you want to be an expert in and study that and make that your craft. But in the meantime, it doesn't help a lot of people. It doesn't help people understand the foundational aspects of the fact that the foundation is cracked, and we all stand a chance of falling through the damn cracks of this system. And so I think the message needs to be, it has to do with our money. It has to do with our currency. These bills that flow from behind me, as this video says at the very beginning, these things here these are your greatest financial liabilities here. And so these pieces of paper here is the reason why. It's the symptom. No, I'm trying to figure out. Central banking is a problem. The spinoff of that is these notes that are causing the problems. Says Google how the Civil Rights Act got passed. So we got two people. Looks like it was an Italian G going back and forth with who over civil rights. William Smith, people, be nice, man. Be nice. So first of all, anybody called in, so I guess, ain't much going on. But what I want to leave you guys with, because we're going to dial back early tonight, looks like, because you guys ain't really, ain't nothing new out here happening. It says, I came by an article that stated Facebook was funded by CIA to collect the public info of the public. What are your thoughts? Do you see Facebook getting replaced with something else in the future? Philman, good point. I don't doubt that all software-based services, as well as the hardware behind them, hence the whole smartphone, smart application phase we're in now, where all that information is collected on the back end. So I don't doubt that, in order for Facebook to rise to the, the level of the global systemic nature that they're at, they had to allow some backdoors into their system so the powers that be can keep an eye on and to survey people and things of that nature. So yes, I do believe that Facebook, Google, all of them, they're all in the same game. And then what better way to infiltrate and to get people excited about being spied on other than putting it in all those smart gadgets. So everyone has a smartphone, everyone has a smart TV for the most part. Everyone got and here's what really trips me out. I've never figured this out. Maybe somebody can help me. But the idea of having a smart refrigerator that you can see through. It's a camera on the inside that lets you know what you have. And the selling point is that it lets you know when you're running low on some milk. It lets you know when you're out of something. I'm thinking, like, how lazy can you get to where you would rather have your refrigerator recognize that your milk is low and then go on Amazon and order some milk for you and then have it delivered by an Amazon driver? Like where does this stuff end, man? Like, is that a convenience, or is it something to dumb us down even more? I believe our population, in comparison to a lot of nations that aren't as developed as us, are far ahead of us in just the ability to critical think and a variety of other things that we no longer allow ourselves to do because we have everything in our palm of our hand. Bruce City, I appreciate that, my friend. Lazy, namaste. Good point. Yes, Bruce City, appreciate that, my friend. It says they don't have to worry about refugees heading north due to winter weather and lack of gasoline availability during that. Yeah, so here's the thing. Like, even under the last administration, under the open border policy, I saw videos from a lot of alternative media people that there was buses. They actually gave funds, and there was buses in the southern area that brought people up to these sanctuary cities and whatnot. And so those people who receive funds on the other side of that border, they were given some instructions on what they should expect when they do get inside this country. And I'd be willing to say that they were promised shelter, a right to vote, a driver's license, and a job. And, so I bet you there's some pamphlets saying that, this section of Hondurans, you guys are to go to the eastern hemisphere of the country. We got places in New Jersey, New York. We got places for you over there. We got a whole whatever. This section here goes to, so they're going to send some of these caravan sections to certain areas in the country where the Democrats are in need of a heavy vote for this midterm, and more importantly for the time this next presidential election comes about. So I would say that once these caravans come through, they're going to go directly to where they were instructed to go, and it's going to be all the areas that are heavily red to kind of disrupt that and throw that stuff off. That's just my thought. Hello, caller. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Mike, Tony from Oakland.
Tony, how you doing, my friend?
What's going on, my friend? How are you doing?
I'm doing excellent, man. I appreciate you calling in, showing me some love tonight. What's going on with you? How you doing?
You can't shut down. Bruce City just threw you a 5, man.
Yeah, I see that. Appreciate that, bro.
I was just trying to let you know that this thing's been rigged and set up for a while. In 1968, the Wall Street Journal ran an article, and they were the only ones to run the article about Dick Gregory getting 9,000. They had to shut it down in Pennsylvania because he got so many votes. There was more people voting in Pennsylvania than was in Pennsylvania.
Right.
So yeah.
So who's Dick Gregory? So who? I mean, apart from who was he? Who is he? Or what was that?
He started out being like a comedian, civil rights movement type guy, like a similar to a Jesse Jackson.
Yeah.
And you need to look into his background and look at some of the things he did, and he enlightened me on some things that I didn't even know about Martin Luther King. You know, that was back in his time.
Yeah.
And Kennedy and all the things that happened around the government.
Yeah.
And he does the research, and that's the same thing like you. You know, you go and you pull up the paperwork, you pull up the research, and you show the people. And I would encourage you to tell the people to do the same thing for themselves. That way, they can be well informed.
Yeah.
But that's what I wanted to say on Dick Gregory. And as far as this immigrant going on, is like you said, some people in flip flops. I can't believe you walk all the way from Honduras in flip flops.
Yeah. Yeah, and so.
But now they got them. Now they got them on back of semis now, so it's a little better. They ain't got to walk so far.
Yeah, but think about it, it's still a very uncomfortable ride driving through those countries. On top of that, it's good to say a lot of people don't have anything in their pockets for food or whatnot. So where's the food and all that stuff coming from? Even though I saw people providing food along the roads or whatnot, but still, like,
where are they sleeping?
Yeah, like, so my question is, what do you expect when you get to the border? Like, you are. I'm sure they heard that the military is going to meet them there. So what do you expect them to get there and that they change their mind and just open the gates up, or what? So that's the thing. Like,
no, I mentioned this the other night. You had that conversation that the U.S. cannot put their military on their own soil. They can put the reserve, and the ironic thing about that, and I asked everybody to do your research.
Yeah,
the only person that's able to call in the reserve is the governor of the state, and the governor of the state turns over, and that's what happened in Katrina. They were ready to go in, but Bush wouldn't send them in until the governor said, "Hey, we need your help." And then that's basically turning over your city to the state, the country. And they come in and it's martial law. They can do whatever they want, and I think that's the route Trump is trying to head, but he can't do it with our military. And I think what's going to happen is they gotta let these people seek asylum, and that's all they want is asylum. And under the UN and do your research under the UN Refugee Act, which we are still part of.
Yeah, they
have to let them in.
Now, okay, so watch this. So if we have to let them in, then why is so many troops going to the border? To what, help them in or what? So I would imagine that even though we're, according to the treaty and all stuff like that, it looks like Trump might be willing to tear some treaty stuff up to say, because this whole, because him saying that he's a nationalist, which means he's more so concerned with our borders and our state than anything outside our country, especially some UN agreements that he himself probably would say hurt our country more than they help him. I can see him shaking up some stuff with the UN. Am I right or wrong? What do you think?
Well, Nikki Haley's gone now, so you could be right on. You could be right on that end because they hadn't replaced anybody. But Trump's got a problem with beautiful women in his cabinet and his administration. If you look at it, and I think the next up to go is the co-Fox for Fox News. In order to go into the UN, but she's got no experience whatsoever. But outside of that, I think that what they'll end up doing, Trump says he's sending military. He didn't say which military he was sending. So, you know, and the labels that everybody wants to put on everybody, I'm not about labels. I'm about what you do.
Yeah.
Show me what you're going to do. And there's your label right there.
Yeah.
But I don't, he can't do it. He can't do it. Obama, I did that the other day. Obama sent them to the border. Bush sent them to the border, but they were only there to assist the people. And Trump took on Obama's last refugees, talking about that I ain't gonna do this all the time, and I don't want to do this, and he ended up doing it.
Yeah.
Just like the last bill he signed too. He didn't want to do that, but he ended up doing it. But I just think they're going to accept him. They got to accept him. They got to accept him under this treaty, under this agreement.
Well, we're going to find out. So a good portion of our caravan should be arriving this weekend, right in time for the election process. So we'll see. I'm sure CNN and Fox, they're going to be right there watching these gates, whether they're closed or they're wide open. So yeah.
These guys must be running to the U.S., man. It should have took them over a month in order to get here.
Yeah. So
they're here in 2 days.
Another thing is, like, they could have came during the summertime. They could have came in the spring. They came right during the midterm, and it's not by coincidence. You know what I'm saying? Type of thing. They came right at the end of the year to cause problems. So here we're going to have – so this could be some type of diversion, because the mainstream media are going to be so focused on what the interaction between the military or whoever and the caravan people that it could be a distraction away from issues happening with the political structure, hence this whole midterm. So all next week, even though it's, as people say, one of the most important, midterms in our history, they're going to be really weighing in on what's happening down by the borders. So we're going to have a lot of false stories, a lot of fake stories, and this could equal some type of opportunity to really deceive a lot of people with some type of false flag or something of that nature at what is deemed the right time for the Democratic Party, I believe.
The one thing you can bet is they got this thing hooked up. So no matter what we do or what we say, they know the direction it's headed.
Yeah, I do agree, 100%.
So that's why I say relax, don't get excited. Just, stay within your game plan. Watch what they do, and do the opposite on the most part.
Yeah.
And like you said, get your weight up.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
I think that is a good point. And I've heard a lot of people starting to say that and come around now.
Yeah.
And a lot of these central banks are even getting their weight up. So I don't hear them saying I'm getting cryptocurrency. I hear them saying I'm getting my weight up.
Yes, they are. Namaste. I appreciate that.
All right, brother.
All right,
I'm
my
gonna
friend.
let you go, man.
I
Just in case
appreciate
somebody
you.
else want to call in.
All right, appreciate
Keep your
you.
head up.
Yep, you too. Have a
All
good
right.
night.
You
Bye.
too. Bye.
Yeah, man. That is real talk. Namaste. I appreciate that gift offering there. Thank you for that. And so watch this. Earlier, if you had a chance to tune in to the RTD Live Talk, the midday section with James Anderson from SD Bullion. So we got, they are, for the next couple of days, for the month of November, they're going to just, they said that they'll give a discount to anybody who uses RTD code for 1 gram. And so the goal with that is to basically give everybody a chance to get a gram. Like I mentioned today, I'm trying to get it to the point where I get everybody I know, just go get you a gram. It's like, it ain't free, but it's as cheap as it's ever going to be. So get yourself a gram. I'm going to emphasize that till I'm blue in the face. Get yourself a gram. Just get that little gram, set it around, and just watch what it's going to be like. Watch what it's going to be worth in 5, 10, 20 years, hands down. Anyway, but what we did during that live stream, which I was going to do tonight because I was supposed to have a guest on, Bill Powers, in reference to he's a mining stock guy, so he was going to come educate us on some mining situation. And so what I'm going to do every single episode, as much as I can, or until I go broke, either way, I'm going to put out a chance to give away every single live stream a gram. And so I won't even get into the details of it until, I looked at it, it's about 78 people watching right now, and it's 24 thumbs up. So just to encourage participation, because people can be sitting here watching and enjoying the back and forth and enjoying the chat room, but don't put in on it. Don't put in on nothing. So all I ask at the bare minimum is a thumbs up. And so if we can get right now, if before I log off, which will be maybe 5-10 minutes, give or take, however long we keep this going, it's usually I'm on for an hour. And so if we can get 50, if we can get out of 81 people from what I see on my side, if we can get 60 thumbs up, I'll put out an opportunity for somebody tonight to get some gold in their hands as a part of my contribution to your funds. And so if we can get 60 thumbs up in the next 10 minutes, I'll present an opportunity for somebody tonight to get a piece of gold the size of this big sent to you in the mail, or however you choose to receive it. So once I see 6-0, then we can talk further. But in the meantime, let's keep this party rolling. In the meantime, so look forward to every single night having a chance to acquire something. So what else we got here? Missing a lot of stuff in the chat. It says to just be separate system for payments if debit. What else you guys say? After things are back up, will there still be demand for the supply of digital currency? After things are back up, will there still be demand for a supply of digital currency? I'm not sure what that's in reference to, but I think the whole digital currency in reference to is that in reference to fiat currencies, like, there's more digital dollars than there are paper dollars type, digital currency you're referring to, or are you talking about the crypto side of things? So let me know. But my opinion, from this point on, we're going to be digital from this point on, just because paper, the cost of paper, the ink, all the cost for manufacturing paper to put out in circulation, and the responsibility of taking care of that paper is becoming a burdensome act on the government. So they're promoting this cashless society, and paper is becoming, in a deflationary environment, paper will be very harmful to the banking structure, because people are going to hoard paper, and that's not what they want to do. They want people to spend. So they got to make sure they find a way to remove paper out of circulation one way or another. So they'll give us 3 or 4 different angles on how to do that. So I think we're going to be digital. And eventually, as all this crypto stuff rolls out, a government will come out with a domestic coin for the citizens, geared upon them paying taxes with it first. Then it'll be turned into legal tender to use in commerce, while China, Russia, the nations that are sitting on the most weight, those are the nations that got their weight up heavily right now. They're going to come out with some type of crypto backed by gold that you can do business with their crypto, but it's redeemable at any minute. Kind of like the whole yuan futures, which is, you can redeem those yuans immediately for gold if you choose. They're going to have to roll out some type of digital aspect to that. So let me say this question: who is funding the illegals to come to the U.S. Philman? Nobody knows for sure. There's a lot of culprits out there that people want to throw out. It's usually the same pack of people that are the globalists, people who want no borders and they want a one world type of structure. There are some certain names out there. I'll let the viewers who are well informed throw those names in there, but I'm gonna keep that to myself. It says people, Democrats, aka less mean Republicans, stop fighting over who is screwing over the most, change the system. Yeah, changing the system will be ideal, but I don't anticipate any real change in this current system we have, just because the powers that be, those that are the overseers, the overlords of the system, stand to lose too much. So they're not going to mess up their generational wealth because of a couple people want change. They want to own it all. The goal is to own everything and leave nothing for anybody else. That's what it appears to be. That's just an inherent evil of the people who are running this system. And so that's what it is. It says, honestly, right now, anything is better than the failing dollar, BTC, PM, rookie cards of Michael Jordan. Yeah, but see, the thing is, the Federal Reserve note, it still spins. And so because it still spins, it is your responsibility as a temporary steward of that note to get as much as you can out of it while you can. Hence the fact, I did an article a while back about how, this piece of paper here and all these papers behind me, they were brought into circulation with a very small inscription on the bottom of them. So all of them down here said redeemable for silver or gold, or they all came out as certificates. And so after a couple acts here, a couple policies here, a couple of things happen. They if you follow the history of notes, you'll see after every 7-8 years there's some type of removal of something important on the notes, to where now it just says this note it just says $1 on it. It no longer says redeemable for anything, but these pieces of paper were meant to be redeemable. So, given the fact that our government has removed that right, I'm aware of the fact that the paper is still redeemable. So I personally have to make sure that I personally redeem those papers for things that are of value. So the responsibility of redemption was removed from the governments and placed upon the people. So the goal is to help more people realize why it's important to redeem those papers while they can. Hence the idea of get your weight up. And so we got a couple more minutes, and so we got 38 thumbs up. So it looks like not too many people want to hold on to some gold yellow for free. So there's more that I can keep in my pocket. It's not a problem. But if we get to 60 piece, which is just 22 more people who's tuning on right now, just decided to just hit that little thumbs up button, I'll throw out something for you guys to get a chance to get your weight up. Because my goal is I want your participation in getting your weight up. I want you guys to take advantage of this opportunity, because there's nothing else like it right now. Like, and just not to harp on it more, but this this whole little get your weight up, it's an exclusive thing right now. Like, they are, this offer is only available right now to RTD subscribers, or available through RTD subscribers, hence the promo code. And so right now, it's no telling thing on it. If this goes well, they'll probably keep it going. But if it doesn't, because nobody shows interest, then we probably won't have a chance to get this rate of gold at a cheap price. So that's why I'm going to continue to harp that everybody should just get you an ounce and get your gram and be good with it. Temporary problem you are over concerned with. Not sure. I understand free market. Yeah, that's another conversation. I'm not sure what you guys talking about. Yeah, man, with Bitcoin. When Bitcoin hits 1 million, I want no Lambo but my own island. Oh, man. Yeah. That's interesting. That is interesting. So, yeah, I was thinking about this the other day. Granted, you're in a better situation where, you got some funds that you want to redeem and acquire something of either for fun or whatever. I'm thinking like, I wouldn't want no damn Lambo, because I get bored. I would drive it around, whatever, have fun. But I would get bored of a Lambo. And I'm like, granted, it still has some type of resale value to it, but yeah, you can't put your family in the Lambo. You can't put the kids in the back of a Lambo. So I won't be able to drive as much as I want. But that's just me. It says at Mike RTD, the notes with the redeem for silver was initiated by Kennedy, and that's a big reason he was assassinated. Yeah, so that right there was Kennedy was looking to reissue more of those silver certificates at the same time that the banking sector wanted them to remove. So they were in the process of looking to withdraw them by 1960 something. And at that same time, Kennedy was like, no, the people need a source of money. The Federal Reserve have their debt notes. The people need a source of money to use. Hence the idea of wanting to issue more. And then that's when the things changed, because that wasn't a part of their script. Now, speaking of which, I did an infographic a year ago that's very informative, and it gives you a great timeline as to what's happening. Let me see. Man, it took me a while to come up with that thing. Anyway, I'm gonna share it with you guys another day. It says Bitcoin is going to flounder. No Lambo, here neither. I wish I had like 2 BTC. Don't we all? USA will not go into silver standard. They depleted the silver content in the coins. Current coins are crap base metals. Yeah, definitely. I would rent a Lambo though. I would rent it and dog the hell out that car. Drive it. I'll be hitting them corners. Yeah, leave that alone. Anyway, man, but no, we're drawing towards the end, people. So I threw it out there. I gave people opportunity. And so it looks like nobody really wanted to win nothing tonight. So most people probably not about it. I understand that. I mean, you know, it takes a lot to lift your thumb up and go like that on the screen. I know. I can imagine. Your thumbs get tired from surfing and smartphones and whatnot. So we're going to call it short, man. It's been a great night. I want everybody to definitely, get your weight up, people. This is for you. I did this for you. So make sure you guys take advantage of this opportunity. And more importantly, what I would like for you guys to do and what I'm going to do also, beyond offering you guys a chance to get your weight up via a free, every night I probably get on, I'm going to give you a chance to get something. But if you take this image here, if you copy this image here, or I'm going to share it on my social media. If you copy this image here, a special offer, and you share it with the link that goes to the page and hashtag get your weight up. And if you tag me in it at Rethinking the Dollar, wherever it's at in the social media, in any of these social medias, where we at? Down here. No, in this ad. On any of the social media, on any of the social media links here, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or Steam. And if you copy this blue page, hashtag get your weight up, and you include the link that people can go to do that, then I'll acknowledge that. And if there's a couple shares, if people share, like if there's some interaction with your post, I got something for you. You know what I'm saying? I got something for you. So I'm gonna clarify that a little bit more in the future, but definitely I want to make it worth your while to support the cause, and so definitely want to put some weight in your pocket. So anyway, download the free ebook and go from there. But other than that, people, it's been great as always. We got 41 thumbs up, Tony, but the goal was 60. And so we 19 short tonight. So maybe next week we can do it again and get our weight up. And, you know, so definitely I'm going to put something in somebody's hands. It's a matter of who wants it. So go from there. But so the goal, yeah, it says how many thumbs up. I wanted 60 because at that time it was 80 people on. So people just, I guess, you know, said, this guy's not talking about nothing. They left. But they could have gave a thumb up and left. And that would have been beneficial for those that decided to stick it out. So other than that, people, it's been fun as always. You guys have a great weekend. I got some videos coming tomorrow. And other than that, you know, make sure you guys get your weight up, man. This was for you. So enjoy your night. Share this. Tell a friend. And I'll see you guys later. Peace.